Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sensibly Cynical podcast. My name is Sean, and this is indeed episode 199. The next time you hear me after this recording, of course, will be episode 200. Dolores Gibbs will be joining me as co-host, and Noob and Z will begrudgingly be joining me on a skit. So I'm so stoked for that. Also, I will be doing an AMA, which will be Ask Me Anything, obviously. I will have that form out later this week. But let's get to this episode. Corey Parnell, the lead singer of the band The Brethren, is joining me for an exclusive interview. So stoked for this. Is a group of 4 people. So his brother Casey is on the guitar. Then Lonnie Chapin is on the bass. And Chadchapin is the drummer. And this group, I'm telling you people, if you have not heard of this band, The Brethren, you need to go on Spotify, Apple, whatever device you have, and listen to their songs. These people are incredible musicians. So stoked that Corey joined me. Talks about, how the group started, his influences, tells a, funny story, all that. And it's awesome. Every single bit of this interview was a treat. So buckle in, buckle up, and enjoy my interview with Corey Parnell of The Brethren. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me now, he is the lead singer of the country band The Brethren, Corey Parnell. What's going on?
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
It's going well. Bend, Oregon, I hear, huh?
Yes, that's where we are.
Isn't that the Beavers currently. Or something? Or Beavers, or is it the other school? Yeah. Is it?
That's the Oregon State is the Beavers. We're all Duck fans in the Brethren. That's
I just crossed. University. So I just crossed the line then. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, in fact, this interview is over.
You're like, click. This guy didn't even get the right city.
No, I actually have a cousin that was a quarterback for the Oregon State Beavers back in the day. So I kind of they call people like me a platypus. It's a combination of a beaver and a duck.
Oh well, my bad for getting it wrong.
No,
my uncle was from Seattle, so I'm familiar with the Pacific out there.
Yeah, we love it out here, man.
Rain and Starbucks. That's all. Rain, Starbucks, and football.
That's what we do. That's what we do. And then when we can't go outside, we make music. So that's what happened to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's dive into it. There's 4 of you, right? And is it a pair of brothers? Is that correct?
That's right. A set of 2 sets of brothers from the same town. Our paths took us, in different directions for a while, but we reconverged, and we were like, man, we got to make music together. We didn't know if it would be great, but it was.
Yeah. So country roots, right?
Yeah. And that's something else that we kind of fell into. So one of the guys, the drummer, Chad, has lived in Nashville for the last 20 years. Yeah. And so we met up there to write music, but we didn't really intend. We all love country music. We're in the Pacific Northwest, you don't think of like country music, but where we're from, in the high desert, like the boondocks, like there's country folk out here. So we've been listening to it all of our lives, loving it all of our lives. But then when we went to Nashville, it made sense. It's what happened when we started writing together. And so that's the genre we find ourselves kind of like most comfortable in,
Yeah, that's the thing about society and like pop culture is people like are irrelevant. Like they don't understand that all 50 states, all 50 have middle of bumfuck nowhere cities.
That's right.
Like people just think of like the high populace, like, and they make that like this state. And that's not true.
Exactly.
For every Chicago, there's like Pekin. No offense to Pekin, but
Yeah, and there's rural people out there listening to country and rock and roll, and you're right, every state's got the freaking boonies, and that just so happens to be where we're from. It's not that much anymore now. Like people discovered our hometown, which is in Oregon, Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
So how did besides obviously I'm sure there was you guys hung out in the same social circles. Was that just the start of it, kind of like, hey, you're good at music, I'm good at music, I can drum? How did it all start?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, we knew about each other like in high school and stuff.
So,
Chad and Lonnie, the other set of brothers, it's me and Casey, and then Chad and Lonnie. They're like a couple classes ahead of us, and they were these cool kids that played rock and roll. But then they both moved to Nashville out of high school, and immediately got, like, because they're so talented, they immediately got gigs.
Wow, that's hard to do. That's impressive.
It is hard to do, especially now. It was hard back then, but you know, the noise floor is just so high in those music cities. It's hard to get heard. But they immediately got touring gigs, and then one of the bands that they were touring with came back through their hometown, and some promoter asked our dumb punk rock band that we were in at the time to open up for them. Right. And so that was the first time, that show was the first time that I'd ever met Chad or Lonnie. But after that, for some reason, we just kept in touch over the years.
For some reason, beers were drank, and it was like, oh, these guys are cool. Somebody was the DD, and you know.
Absolutely. I mean, we have had ourselves some beer-fueled endeavors.
Evenings,
no question. Yeah.
Well, evenings and days, you know, both.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to fuel your morning even with the beer.
Yeah, I've done that where it's like oh, well, you know, let's drink for brunch, and then brunch turns into lunch, and it's like, oh yeah, we're supposed to go to the club tonight. Oh, fuck it, let's go anyways.
Okay, we go.
No, man, so that's cool. That's cool. I have a few questions right off the bat.
Yeah.
So, true or false? Your favorite show is Schitt's Creek. Is that true or false?
It's not true, but it's
then
not
fire
false.
your PR person, because that's what
They're
PLA
fired.
Media, get someone new. I'm just kidding.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that show is so funny.
No, I love PLA Media, Mark. Don't can me either.
Oh yeah, no, he's good. He can take it.
He can take a joke.
But yeah, Schitt's Creek is so funny. That one just got the giggles going for me. Right now, my favorite show is what's it called? Severance on Apple TV.
Oh yeah, that's the whole thing, man. Is streaming and shit, you know. And
yeah,
they all have like their streaming. How is that made over to music? Is it like these specials and stuff? And you go like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you see the future of music as far as like streaming? Is it just straight going to be Spotify, Apple until they eat each other, or?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. I got a lot of opinions on that. I'm part of the like, I ride the line in that generation where I remember when pre-streaming, like we were the first users of Napster.
Yeah.
And then that whole debacle with Metallica and all the lawsuits and everything. Yeah. So I mean, obviously streaming's the future. You can like kick against it all you want, but like artists need to embrace it. So on the one hand, it sucks because, you know, everybody can make music. You know, it's completely flooded. Even finding a band name anymore, you could pick the weirdest band name you could think of, and it's already a band, and they probably have like 2 million streams. You know,
I mean, yeah, probably right. You stated it earlier, but we have the drummer is Chadchapin. Now he's got to be a pretty badass drummer to be with y'all, and longevity, right? Y'all been doing this for a bit. Talk about him, and his style. How's his style like influenced the group?
Oh, so much. So Chad has toured with countless artists. He was in, I don't know if you remember Ben Folds and Ben Folds 5, but he played in Ben Folds' band. He's like Ben was a big 90s artist, like around the same time as like Third Eye Blind and Semisonic.
Sure. Sorry, I don't recall.
No. It's all good. And so anyway, then he's just a monster on the drums. And he's also a session guy. So like the session guys in Nashville that play on all the records are like metronomes. They play their music perfectly. And so Chad is just always fully locked in, man. And to do that, but also play with style, that's the key. And Chad does that, man. He's a brilliant musician.
So the bassist is his brother. So we got the bassist and the drummer. That's and then the guitarist is your brother.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So talk about how old's is your brother? Younger, older? Like
he's older than me. Yeah.
Okay, so I assume he was a big influence on you musically and everything like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we came up together loving the same stuff, and it was mostly like, we're Pacific Northwest, as was stated. So we listened to a lot of Nirvana. The whole grunge scene really impacted us.
Oh man, I could go on about the grunge scene, bro.
Let's go.
We could go down that rabbit hole. I don't talk about it much on the podcast, so that would be fun, man. I credit my ex-girlfriend, Holly. She won't listen to this anyways. You know what's funny? Quiet. Just a quick diatribe. Like, it's just me, but like the one ex-girlfriend I talked to is the one that the breakup was the hardest. Isn't that hilarious? Like the harshest. Isn't that hilarious? Everyone else is just, oh yeah, broke up, but like, get the fuck out. But anyways, this one, she introduced me to like a Finnish band, him and like Bull for a Valentine and like My Chemical Romance. And dude, once I got that shit rolling, I started figuring out, diving into the old bands, and then in high school I got to hard rock stuff. So what bands, give me an example. Like I saw something they printed out, said you liked U2. Is that an example of a band that you were like into back then?
Yeah, I mean, actually, the truth be told, I got into U2 later in life. Like I remember when they did the Super Bowl right after 9/11 happened. Right. And that was the first time I was like, whoa, like I obviously had heard of U2, biggest band in the world, blah, blah, blah. But that I hadn't cared. Like that was too corporate for me, like in high school. Now we'll throw it back. So I was into Pearl Jam. I was into Nirvana, of course. I was into all these bands that influenced like Nirvana and Pearl Jam that nobody knew about. Like there's this band called Mudhoney.
I have a band I guarantee you haven't heard of.
Try me.
Oh, I'm gonna win. Hum.
Probably. But
no, the band is called Hum.
Oh, the band is called Hum.
You probably like, what's this guy talking about? Yeah, the band is called Hum.
Hum.
I got you. I got you.
You totally got me.
I'll have to like get your Instagram or something and I'll message you a song, like a video from the 90s, and you'll be like, I guarantee you'll message me back and be like, where the fuck was I? It's a really good song. It's called Stars. You should look it up right when you get off here.
Oh, dude, I'll check it out. I mean,
Stars by Hum. You're gonna figure out. You're gonna feel like you're gonna thank me.
Is it that 90s grunge thing? Is it like? Is that
the
vibe?
Well, it's like it's like the guy's voice is monotone, and then the motherfuckers around him. It's my podcast. I can cuss. Like the motherfuckers around him are just going hard, bro. And he's just like, it's that hard drumming mixed with the monotone voice. And like sometimes that's like, and like when you're smoking or drinking, and like you're hearing that shit, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. It just hits you right in that spot. Dude, all right, I'll check it out. Hum.
Yeah. They got lost with Nirvana. They're also they're Illinois. So they got lost in the shuffle in the 90s. And that happened to a lot of bands.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Deftones gives Hum credit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that kind of a vibe. You know the what's the lead singer?
Deftones and Hum are like right.
Yeah.
Similar.
So Deftones, what's the lead singer's name?
I'm not good with lead singers, besides yourself, of course. But I'm not. Right. No, I'm usually not. No, I don't. What are you talking about? That's I just remember.
Yeah, no. So Chino. Anyway, He lives in Central Oregon, where we're from.
Oh yeah.
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 And the Deftones just played.
You big into Deftones or?
That was a little like later for me. Like I'm kind of into Deftones, but no, it was more of that. Like
basically, what you're saying is you've heard of them. That's essentially.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, I have.
No, I know. I'm just busting chops.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I love it. But my favorite band, all time, like still to this day, one of my favorite bands from that era of my life that I just almost broke the CD was Silverchair.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'll check out Hum, and then you check out Silverchair's record Frog Stomp, and just tell me that doesn't just bless your soul.
We'll have to follow each other on Instagram or something.
Yeah, sounds good.
Go into a music rabbit hole. I don't mind doing that. We briefly mentioned, jokingly wise, drinking and stories. You got a story you can share about like you guys up and down the road, or something that you can share about an experience?
Man, so many stories. Well, I'll tell you a recent one. So Casey just had a birthday. That's Casey, my brother, the guitarist. Mm-hmm. And we went to Mexico to celebrate his birthday. We went to Cabo San Lucas. And it was just that type of time. We were just having drinks, having margaritas, just feeling the flow. And for his birthday, I bought him an American Eagle Speedo. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, and it had so the beak of the eagle is like, like, it's where it ought to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And so it was just a joke. I was like, he's not
right. Sure.
So
busting chops.
We had a big dinner. I gave him the Speedo, and then the next morning we're just, the whole band's there. And we actually played at Cabo Wabo the night before as well. And that was our debut show. Of course, we've been playing together forever, but that was actually our debut show as the Brethren, was at Cabo Wabo that night that I gave him this Speedo. Anyway, I never thought he'd wear it. And the next day we're all in the pool and we're like, where's Casey? Where's Casey? And he just comes walking down these stairs into the pool. Nothing but that American flag, American Eagle Speedo. And
that's
it was
hilarious.
Just quite a moment. Yeah.
Was he sober or?
No, not for that whole week. I don't think.
No. So where have you guys played? You guys go in big venues, small venues, all of above?
Yeah, I mean, so far, a little bit of both. We've done, like, when we played in Nashville, we played some of the bigger clubs there. But then my favorite time we ever played there was this dive bar called The Underdog over in East Nashville. And that can only fit like 60 people or something like that. Mm-hmm. Small, intimate show. And then we've done some bigger opening, slots for, big country artists and stuff like that. So.
So to go off of what we were talking about earlier, as far as, the scene, even you guys, I'm sure, getting, I guess, during this whole pandemic era, I guess gigs have been kind of up and down, or have you guys been fortunate and had lucky, not lucky, but you know what I mean? Like constant bookings.
Yeah, no, we have not had constant bookings. I was just talking to my buddy last night who plays guitar for Jake Owen, who's a big country artist. Mm-hmm. And all their PR people and the booking agents and stuff are saying this is the moment of the haves and the have-nots in the music industry, because through COVID, nobody was playing, right? No gigs. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden, every city in America that has an amphitheater is booked every single night of the summer with massive artists that are touring. And so, we're not like a massive band yet, but it's hard right now. Yeah,
but don't sell yourself short. You guys are pretty solid. I saw the media press thing. Yeah, you guys are pretty solid,
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to ask you, I got a question on the media press after this. I got a good question for you.
Well, yeah, just to wrap that up, it's like it's a weird environment for live concerts right now because it's so saturated. Everybody that couldn't tour for 2.5 years is touring hard right now. And so for like a not an A-list number one, 10 number one songs or whatever artists to make it right now and to get gigs, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. You said kind of tough. What's the hardest part? Is it about it? Is it just not being able to hear that feedback live from somebody, or is it, you know what I mean? Or is it having too much time at home or whatever? I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, the hardest part about, it's just, it's making a living, man. Like doing what you love, and not being able to do that. Obviously we love performing. We love playing music, period. And I would do it for free. I always tell people that the music's free. It's I'm having to schlep all my gear around. That's what you pay me for.
Yeah, man.
The thing about music now is that it's the lines are so blurred in every genre. And it's not like country's alone in this debate. Like if you talk to hip hop guys, they'll be like, oh, hip hop now is not like hip. You can't tell me that it's the same. Like the 80s hip hop is the real hip hop. And people are doing that in country music too. And I think as a music creator, I'm more about blurring those lines. The genres and all the people that are being mad about old and new country or whatever, I'm just like, just listen to what you like. Like good music's good music,
I think auto-tune's part for blending, because I was in Virginia for a while when dubstep was like huge and EDM, and I feel like a lot of people are just taking things from the EDM scene. And I mean,
totally.
If you listen to stuff, it don't matter what genre it is, you'll hear some EDM stuff.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Shoot, I think about like Florida Georgia Line. Those guys are huge, and they took, there's so much auto-tune on those vocals. They've got 808s, not real drums, most of the time, and what they figured out is that this is what people like. Yeah. So, and they weren't wrong. They just mashed up like hip hop and country, and then they made this thing that, oh my gosh, it's working.
Yeah. Now, I want to read a quote that I'm going to paraphrase, and this is all courtesy of your PR guy hooking me up. Songwriter Brian White said, are you familiar with what I'm going to say?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know who Brian White is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He said that you guys are, I'm paraphrasing, unbelievable musicians, great singers, and you have songs that set the bar high. What does that mean to you to hear something like that from your peers, essentially?
Yeah, Brian White, I think, has like something like 10 country number ones or something like that. He's like country music royalty. So yeah, to have someone like him say something like that is just like the highest honor,
Yeah. So what's your take on these country, because I feel like every genre has bands, but like I feel like family is family, like I see a lot of bands that they come together and they disappear. I appreciate the ones that sit together for the long haul. Can you explain like how hard it's been just and overall, or you know what I mean? Like how's the journey overall been? Like what's your thoughts on all that so far? You got a long way to go, but overall, can you summarize the journey?
Yeah, the journey's been challenging. I am one of those that does music for the long haul. And we're in the Brethren, but there's got two other bands as well. And one of them I'm going to sound check with here in a minute. I've been in that band for the better part of a decade. And it'd be sweet to be able to just focus on like one thing, but as a working musician, that's what I mean by it's been hard. It's like we try different things, we experiment, we go in different directions. Sometimes it doesn't work, and we veer back. But it's been a long journey of experimenting and trying to keep like integrity at the forefront of it. Like, I look at myself in the mirror and go, yeah, I like you, man. I like this music. You're not a sellout, you know? And it's so easy. Everybody's like kind of trying to get you to sell out here and there, just with like, make this kind of music, do this. And if it doesn't feel right, I don't do it. And that's, I don't know if that's bit me in the ass, but whatever. Like, here I am.
Yeah, here you are. And you guys are doing great. Big things. It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning, right, Corey?
I hope so, man.
Last question I got for you. Do you have any advice for people just starting out in the business, either as groups or solo careers?
Yeah. Become a doctor first. No, I mean, just to understand that like the whole thing is different now. Like, look at it with honest eyes, because again, I remember when like A&R representatives were flying to cities to see new acts, and like they'd have a cigar in their mouth and be like, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse, you know. Right, literally, that happened to us, and it doesn't happen anymore. And so if you're gonna do music, it better damn well be from the heart. It better be who you are, and you better be in it for the long haul. And that doesn't mean that you're going to make money right away and like all that stuff. Like, just be in it for the right reasons. And if it pans out, great. But if you're in it for the right reasons and it doesn't pan out, you're good.
Yeah. You know? It's whatever makes yourself happy, you know?
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Sounds cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
Same thing with podcasting.
Right.
Same thing.
For real.
Yeah. It's been a grind, but I like doing it. So it's cool.
You're good at it too, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So social media, where can people find you?
Yeah, everything for us is We Are the Brethren, at We Are the Brethren, Instagram, Facebook, and the website. So,
all right, so that's BRETHREN for those that didn't pass high school. That and those are the letters. You'd be surprised. Trust me. And what do you got coming out? You got anything in the works that you guys are going to release?
Yeah, we got a new single coming out end of the month. It's kind of a little bit of a departure for us, but it's something we've been doing live. It's kind of a more like rootsy Americana sound, and it's a song called Wild Child that has just been live. It's just been like a big hit, so we decided to record it. It'll come out at the end of the month.
All right, everybody should check out The Brethren, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get all your stuff. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Do it.
Snapchat. Yeah, I'm just kidding. All right, Corey, thank you so much.
Dude, yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you.
You have a good night.
You too, bye now.
All right, bye. All right, there you go. That was awesome. Once again, I would like to thank Corey from The Brethren for coming on the podcast today. And I would like to thank you for listening to episode 199 of Sensibly Cynical. Before I go, please just give us a follow on Instagram at Sensibly Cynical Pod. Follow us on Twitter at Cynical Sensibly. Subscribe, rate, and review Sensibly Cynical. If you have not done that yet, please do so. All the subscriptions, they mean the world to me. Hit us up on TikTok, Sensibly Cynical. Yes, Elise Stein. I'm starting to ball out on TikTok, or in my own head, I am at least. WordPress, we are on there. Just give us a shout out. And I'm looking forward to recording episode 200 next couple weeks. Until then, please stay safe and take care.